Yo, what's poppin'? All my peeps, it is I, your host with the most Renaissance man who always thinks he can, and champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts. Some might refer to me as Patriot Pitts, here at the Gillette Gazette, presented by StadiumRant. And obviously, you cannot have the Gillette Gazette with just the champ. I need my other peeps, starting with the science guy who's pretty fly, and the doctor of patrionomics, Soor. Soor, what's popping, my dude? How we doing?
It's a good Thursday. Got some Celtics basketball to watch. Facing elimination. Supposed to have Patriots OTAs. We'll talk about that.
That's what we're here for. And then we have a lot to dive into there, Soor, because that's a different form of nonsense that we'll be talking about today. Because it's not what I want to be waking up to, getting notifications at work about the season has barely even started. We're not even in July, and the Patriots already got their little OTA woes. And I was gonna save this till the middle of the show, kind of like think of it like a sandwich, the meat. But you know what? Sometimes you don't eat the bread to save on carbs. So let me find that banner and let's talk about it. Patriots cheat again, but did they, Soar? Because after reading more into it, it's kind of just absurd.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I mean, to be honest, I don't believe any of the last scandals either. But that's a whole different story.
This one's especially more far-fetched.
So the background here is Patriots got a couple OTAs canceled because they broke NFL guidelines. But the NFL guideline they broke is Joe Judge having a longer than 4-hour meeting for the special teams.
Yep.
First of all, after the way they played against the Bills on special teams, they should have a 24-hour meeting. Yeah. Those players shouldn't be allowed to leave the freaking campus. But more than that, unless he was actually holding them for double time or something like that, this kind of minutia and this level of regulation over how the team does these really specific things is ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's absurd. There's no reason to penalize teams. I mean, I was talking to actually one of our Patriot peeps, Sarah, and her and I were talking about how it makes sense if there was, contact, or they were going, full out practices, we'll say. But if it's in a meeting, they're not even on the field. Like, what if all right, just what do we do before the show? And even kind of after the show too. You shoot the shit. All right? You how things, ask about personal life and shit that's not about work. And how long does that last sometimes?
Sometimes it'll last half the length of the pod.
Exactly. You're just...
We're friends. This is,
Yeah.
That's how it works. These players know each other. The coaching staff and these players have a rapport, and you're not every single second of those 4 hours is going to be just completely dialed in football talk. But also, if the players are fine with talking about football for longer than 4 hours and feel that 5 hours of discussion would be useful to them, then let them. I mean, yeah, technically at my job, it's a 40-hour-a-week job. If I'm working 9 hours on a given day, nobody's coming on my throat. People are actually glad about it. And if I'm working too much, I can make it up later. And there's just that understood agreement of, sometimes things will go long, sometimes things won't. And in that sense, working on your football team, working on your craft like that is the same way.
It's just mind-boggling to me, this whole thing. I mean, thank God it's just you don't get 2 OTAs. Oh, shucks. Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to do a captain's practice. They're going to do something. They're going to go maybe do an extra workout, private workout, whatever. So it's not like they're just sitting home twiddling their thumbs being like, oh, this sucks. We were penalized. Like, no, they're going to do stuff. And guess what? They all have phones. Okay, we have message boards. The NFL cannot commandeer the internet. Okay,
And
so
it's less the punishment than the principle of it, right? It's just this, and there's a part of me that just feels this anti-Patriots bias is just coming back, where it's just, I asked myself the question of, if the Chargers had held a 4.5 hour meeting, would the NFL be at their throats? The answer is probably no.
Cowboys definitely have a lot to talk
They're
about.
their darling. Cowboys are the NFL's darling. Why would they penalize them?
Jerry Jones, I don't get it. It just, to me, it's ridiculous that we're going this hard about this for just no reason.
Yeah, what's the word we assign to this kind of stuff, Pat?
When we get I'll play it for you. I'll play it.
Yeah.
That's basically all I can say about that, and not the fun kind. Which I'm gonna wait one more little topic before we get into that fun, because Soor, we have rule changes. Okay, we have rule changes that have been implemented, and this one came in. It is on the kickoffs, where if you signal for a fair catch anywhere inside the 25-yard line, doesn't matter if the ball is kicked to the 1 or the 24, you will get it at the 25. This has been mainly done to prevent the head injuries and the collision type car crash hits that you're going to see in these moments. And I am shockingly, because I usually love the hard hits and the here comes the boom type of, compilations on YouTube. But this is better for the game. I think it's a smart move. There's no reason for them to, go all out and, kind of reward them for not having to do that. And it saves on head injuries. The thing is, too, it's not like, you're getting at the 1. Like, you're being rewarded for doing it by getting a touchback when it's not really a touchback. And you still have the option to run it out. So they didn't take away anything. They more just gave you an option.
Yeah. Yeah, because, if you're at the 1, you're going to feel tempted to return it. And I've always felt that the kickoff is somewhat of an unnecessary play. It just it's hard to rationalize why it's the current form of that play is still in the game, just with all the head injury risks. I mean, you've got players running at full speed on both sides towards each other. You're guaranteed to have very, very hard hits when it comes to blocking, and then you could end up dealing with some gruesome tackles with players potentially coming in with a full head of steam. It's just, I being the football nerd I am, I watched some XFL this past spring, and they do this. They have this option that instead of a kickoff, you can choose to go for a 4th and 15, I think, from your own 25 or something like that. And it's like a way of getting an onside kick, I guess. But they need to play around with the kickoff a little bit and go towards eliminating. And you can keep it as a formality, but this is a good step towards eliminating the risks of it and turning it into more of a formality.
Now, this is where my mind goes with this. There's been a lot of little rule changes sprinkled in over the past few years. You did mention that there's a lot to play around with. Not only just the kickoff, but I feel like we're evolving the game. We're going to see some, I would say, massive changes within the next few years. Are we for it? Do we like that they're implementing these rule changes, or do we think they're trying to do too much?
I think for me, it's going to end up being a case by case thing. I'm going to have to evaluate each rule individually because, yeah, when I first saw that there was a kickoff rule change, my mind went immediately to they got to stop making so many changes. But then when I actually looked at the rule, I'm like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. But
Yeah,
the same isn't going to be true of every single change.
I do agree with that. That there is differences or issues with changing certain things.
For instance,
It's
the criteria for roughing the passer these days, it
yeah,
feels like
that
anything
is.
can lead to roughing, but also it's so up to the ref's interpretation now that incorrectly assigned roughing the passer penalties can change the course of a game.
The thing I don't get about roughing the passer, it's all about the body weight. But how do you tackle them without putting your body weight on them?
Exactly.
I don't. That's my whole
Players are
quarrel with.
having to unlearn things that they've learned for like 20 years and develop a form of tackling that's essentially less efficient for them.
So they like. So it boggles my. I mean, the late hits is one thing. I understand late hits. That's fine with the roughing, but my confusion or issue comes with the tackles. Below the waist, if they're are wrapping them up, and then it's like, oh, you put your body weight on. It's like, no, I did a form tackle.
Right.
It makes no sense to me. It's so that type of rule I would like to see changed in the other way. Everything else, I'm kind of open for it because the game has changed so much. It's so much faster. It depends on. I would say it's became a very offensive league.
Yeah. And if I want to keep enjoying this game, then I'm going to have to be okay with rules that take away some of the unnecessary physicality because it allows players to play it for longer. And I get all of that. So it's go in the direction of player safety, but just think about what's reasonable. And that's that's just kind of my message to the NFL, I guess, as they develop these rules. Like don't make don't make changes that change football as we know it completely. Rather make small changes that don't I can't say I'm gonna miss too much like kickoff returns between the 1 and 24-yard line. Like that's fine to me if players choose not to do them. I don't think anybody should be obligated to return it. So this is fine.
Special teams is a great area to use as your like test kitchen for these rule changes. Let's do some with the onside kick because it happens so rarely that, and by rarely I mean legit chances. So why not? Why not just do like a little 2-point conversion or a college football type of overtime where you start at the 20 or something? I mean, I'm all
Yeah.
for that stuff. Or even just let them do funky shit with the kickoff. Like
I
let them.
love the college football overtime rules.
Oh, it's the best. That is one I wish they adapted from college. It's the only one that I want them to physically take from college.
It's the only way that it's really equal, right? Because if you think about the NFL rule, like yeah, they took away the ability to win with a walk-off field goal, but let's say you have a game with 3 possessions. One team hits a field goal, the other team hits a field goal, the third team hits another field goal. That or not the third team, but the third possession, the team hits another field goal.
I knew what you meant.
It's the same thing where one team got to possess the ball one more time, and that's why they won. Or the fact that a touchdown is still a walk-off. I mean, at that point, you're still making a coin toss an influential part of the overtime, and so something that they should. And it's really it's instances they need to look at instances where the fairness of the game and the integrity of the game have been compromised and target their rule changes towards those.
I could not agree more. And I like how they said for overtime in the playoffs now, it is, both teams get a chance with the ball regardless. So, I mean,
Right.
okay for playoffs.
But even then, that scenario that I described would still cause some inequality, right? You're gonna like even in the playoffs, you can see a team hit a field goal, have the other team hit a field goal, and the third, the next possession, there's another field goal, and the team to possess the ball first still won. And they got to possess it twice where the other team got to possess it once. You put in those college rules, that's not going to happen.
No, and it makes for better television, which is what this all boils down to at the end of the day. No one wants to know the 5 million or 6 million people that tuned in do not want to see a sucky finish. They want to jump out of their seats with excitement as they leave. You don't want them, sluggish getting up. Okay. I agree there. I am very interested to see what more rules that they start to implement in the NFL. But Soor, I think it's time, that we talk about another Patriots team, okay? And for anyone who missed this, did you miss out? Okay. Because Soor, for anyone who didn't know, if you're just tuning in now, we own the Patriots. Just not on Earth 616. It's on a different Earth, okay? Went there during the pandemic. It was a lot of fun. Found myself, came back a champ, okay? And I was thinking about different ways that we can talk about the Patriots, not be so cookie cutter with everyone else in the media, from my dudes who I love, Zoe and Bertrand, to the worst of the worst, Felger Maz. Everyone's talking about the same thing, doing the same thing. What can we do that's different? I'm like, well, I have a team in my back pocket. So it is time for some nonsense. And let's do a little.
Yeah.
Woo! It is time to talk about my favorite Patriots team right now. No, it is not New England. It is the New England Militia. All right. And I teased it last week. Go back in our archives at StadiumRant on YouTube. Go check that out if you have no idea what I'm talking about and you're just like, I need to know now. But if you don't, you want to wait till the end of the episode, that's great, because I'm going to be doing some sprinkling in some backstory, obviously. And Soor, we introduced it last week. You're obviously a member of the NOnSense exec board, we'll say, or the Militia exec board. I'll figure out a better name for it, but you get the idea. And you saw this team for the first time. What did we think? Our initial thoughts after that episode.
There was a lot reminiscent of what actually happens during Patriots games, good or bad. And there's a lot that I saw that I wish the Patriots had.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot there. So and the thing is, when I bought this team, I came in at a great time because it was a fantasy draft. But there were some weird rules and whatnot, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just doing it my way, the Patriot way. And I just picked guys who I believe, Soor, are Patriots at heart. So I put together quite a squad. And what we're doing is we are going to be showing you highlights of that, because what other highlights are you going to see right now they haven't seen already? And we start, let me just make this bigger so I can see where we are. All right, I'm looking at the schedule too. So we have Chiefs. Okay, so we come out of the bye, or this is right before the bye week. I lost the footage, Soor, of the Packers and Jets first time, but we won those games 17-3 and 41-21, and we have the Jets again. I'm not gonna tell you who's on the Jets quite yet because I want to savor that. Okay, I want to savor that moment. So let's look at the highlight here. It is the Militia traveling to Arrowhead. So we're playing the Chiefs. Right now we are, I think, we're like 5-2, or no, it'd be 8-7. Yeah, 5-2. Yeah, it would be 5-2 right now. Heading to Arrowhead right before the bye week. Let's check out this highlight. All right. So, here you go. All right. So, let me turn this down a little bit. Look at that.
Talk about your unrealistic scoreline.
But look at that. Let's rewind it here for anyone who didn't catch it the first time. So, all right, we got Mac Jones. Obviously, he's our quarterback because it's the Patriots. He's the quarterback of the Patriots. And then you're gonna see him here. If you turned in last week, you saw that I do have my favorite running back in the NFL, Kareem Hunt, but he doesn't give it to Kareem Hunt here. Oh no, Soor. Tyquan Thornton. That is who took the ball, ran with it, and scored to put the Patriots up by 2 scores at Arrowhead. I mean, look at in the fourth. So crunch time. Pause to let you speak.
Well, for anybody who watched the Patriots last season, do you all remember the Cleveland Browns game and the fact that we ran a gadget play with Thornton for a 38-yard, I think, touchdown in that game? I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is the kind of, there were these ace in the hole plays like that. You've got this unbelievably fast player with good hands, and you use him for a gadget play, and it's successful. And Patricia's interpretation of that was, great, let's not try this again.
It's not going to work.
It's what bugged me. When you see options like that and you see them work, you do them again and again. And I really think this is a good use case for Tyquan Thornton. This is a way that we can use him this season. And Bailey Zappi got to experience a little bit of it. Mac Jones really didn't, because Patricia never called anything like that. I mean, Thornton did have some drops towards the end of that season, but I think the biggest issue with Thornton in 2022 is that Matt Patricia didn't realize what he had in him and didn't use his speed and use his athleticism in the best possible way. I mean, we saw Thornton's debut, right? We know what Thornton is capable of. We know how difficult it is for NFL corners to keep up with someone with his speed.
Now imagine him not just being a receiver, but a gadget guy, utility guy, a Deebo Samuel type of receiver that can pretty much do everything.
That is the ceiling for Thornton. People will hate But when you're talking athleticism, when you're talking versatility, talking raw talent, that's the kind of player you want to model Thornton after.
Yes, and they did not use him at all. Him and Kendrick Bourne. If those two were our receivers, 1-2, Devontae Parker doesn't impress me.
And Juju,
I would be very confident.
Juju in at 3.
Huh?
Juju in the slot. Those two on the outside.
I'm sorry, I don't have faith in Juju until he proves me otherwise. So yes, you have him in the slot. That is great. Huh?
That's lethal.
That's very lethal.
If you use them right. And we have a guy in Bill O'Brien who will use them right.
You know, the notorious B.O.B. knows what he's doing up in Foxborough.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So, yeah, well, let's check here. Back to the highlights. We're on defense. We are trying to stop the Chiefs from scoring. I forget who the quarterback is. It was a long night. But they get to the 5, and you see the plays there. I forget who it is. It's going to annoy me. And the Chiefs are picked off in the back of the end zone. Javarius Ward picks off. I don't know who the quarterback is. I do not remember this game all that well. But they try to come back. It didn't work. And the Patriots, the Militia, would win that game 20-14, right before the bye week, Soor. So before the bye week, let's do some parallels here to see 2 losses. So it would be 6-2 heading into the bye week. How realistic is 6-2 this season before the bye week? Or 6-2. We'll just go 6-2.
I think that'll be difficult. I think 6-2 is what I could see coming into the bye week. If all of the positive premonitions I've had about the Patriots come true. Bill O'Brien's offense works out. Mac makes a year 3 leap. Adrian Clem tremendously improves the offensive line. Juju works out as a number 1 or number 2 option. Thornton starts playing well. If all these things happen, 6-2 is realistic. And none of the things I said individually, I would say, are unfeasible. Is the good thing. having them all come true is tough. But
Yeah.
the Patriots, and this is where these OTAs are really going to matter, where this is where you test out different things. This is where you iron out what the team is going to be without worrying about the distraction of who of these two incompetent guys is going to call plays for us.
Exactly. And you have a competent person now who is calling the plays. So it's going to be a different team. It's going to be a different look. I have all the faith in the world.
That ending, the late red zone pick, that's the kind of thing I could see our Patriots secondary doing against any offense. You've got Christian Gonzalez now. I mean, you talk about stacked units. You've got Gonzalez, you've got Jonathan Jones, you've got Jack Jones. All three of them get after the ball.
They do. They're very aggressive. They're very aggressive corners.
And we need opportunistic guys. But opportunistic guys with some sense, with some cerebral elements that they're not just jumping at everything. Insert Bill Belichick.
He is going to be their Yoda to teach them. So let's go back here into the NSN. We have week 10 against the Bills. And oh my God, I remember this one. This was a good game. Chilling up it was in Buffalo, so I was hanging with the Bills Mafia beforehand, and I was talking all this shit. Like, we're gonna win, it's gonna happen. Trust my guys. The Militia are gonna come and do that work, and they did. So let's watch it here as Mac Jones just fires a rifle downfield. That's a touchdown, Soor. It's Jamar Chase. I know it's not realistic, but he was on the board, so I took him. All right. And it was not a Patriot, he's a Bengal. But look he gets his 2 feet in. Nice, silky smooth. And then hit him with that little gritty there. Pause.
It's just that, right? Like, he was there, he was too good, so you took him. And that's what the Patriots had to do with DeAndre Hopkins this offseason that I was begging for them to do, that they didn't do. And there were a number of receivers that fit that category. Judy, maybe even Odell if you're wanting to take some risks. There are some players that if they're still on the board at this point, or this guy's still available, the team's willing to trade him. We need a player like that. Let's get a player like that. So our third-year quarterback, who has a better arm than most people think, can actually throw to a guy with some space. And who can make acrobatic catches like that and get both feet in, like Chase.
Yeah, it was just 100%. You got that. The quarterback for the Bills, it's really funny, Soor. Look, Kyler Murray.
Nah.
They drafted him, and oh my God. You got Kamara in the backfield with Kyler Murray. That should be a lethal backfield, by the way. Is Kyler Murray and Alvin Kamara? That'd be just insane options wise.
How do you keep up with that?
One man, number 11 himself, my favorite defensive player in the league. It is Micah Parsons. So we look here. Kyle's going to get the snap. He's searching. He's looking. He can't go anywhere. And then he's just taken down. He's just taken down by Dietrich Wise. We hashtag Wise up in the NSN. Look at this again. So Micah is chasing him, but he leads him to Dietrich Wise. Okay. Watch again. Yep, he turns to get away, but then who's there but Micah and Dietrich Wise for that? And, dude, head coach Brandon Starks, it's my guy. He loves that. Oh.
Wise and White on the edge. W squared. Let's go.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. We got to have a nice pass rush. We're going to get it this year. And then Mac Jones, we're on the 1 or 2. And he throws it. And he scores.
And see, you look at that kind of play, and doesn't the first thought that goes through your head seem like this kind of looks like what Mac Jones was doing during his rookie year? Get the ball, quick play action, check down, accuracy out the wazoo, touchdown.
Art imitates life, Soor. Okay, and I'm just trying to manifest out here. That's what the Patriots need to be doing on the 1. You're gonna go and you're gonna run it in. You're gonna get stopped maybe once. Okay, pull it out. drop back, throw them off a little bit. And if they're going to play tight on you, expecting that run, throw them with a little quick slant and then hit them. There was none of that last year. There was no thought processes. There was no plan in the red zone. It just felt like, oh, all right, let's run it because it's first down and that's what you should be doing. There was no reasoning for anything, and they couldn't capitalize. It was my biggest pet peeve with that team was they couldn't capitalize in the red zone.
Well, in the first year, it almost felt like Mac Jones was playing with training wheels on a little bit, and maybe a little bit less towards the end of the season, where everything was catered towards him. And obviously, you need to, take them off a little bit heading into the second year. But what Matt Patricia did is took the training wheels out, deflated the tires, broke the bike, and told him to ride it.
That's a hell of a description. I love that. I had a nice picture in my head there. That's basically a Matt Patricia offense. But Brandon Starks led offense, scores touchdowns in the red zone as we take a look. I mean, dude, you got to have a receiver that can beat a corner off the line like that. And then look, Kyler Murray is
Tyquan Thornton. In the slot, Juju is probably that kind of guy too. With those short routes, that's where he thrives. And check down passes and quick moments is where Mac Jones thrives. I remember watching the Pro Bowl Skills Challenge when Mac Jones was part of it after his first year. And you know how they have that check down and you're surprised that quarterbacks are missing it? Jones is check down, nailing it. And it's just it's a skill you take for granted. It may seem like an easy pass, but when the play is developing so quickly, it still takes a very solid read and good judgment and a pretty accurate arm to get there. Mac Jones has that.
He has it. I know he does. We've seen it. It just hasn't been utilized. But I want to take it before how funny is Kyler Murray pissed off? It's really funny. He's going to get really pissed here. Oh, this isn't going to be good. Oh, he throws it, and who else but Pitts? Oscar Pitts, the rookie, is going to take this one back and make it a 21-0 game. Oh, yeah. Oscar Pitts getting after it. Number 29. Great. That was a great draft pick. Fourth round, I think. I think he was a fourth rounder. Took a flyer. But, I mean, I don't want to toot his horn that much. Oh, let's pause on that little. Look at that. We got Kyle Kendricks and Sean McDermott. We love seeing that. And then Kyler again. This time throws it. And, dude got rocked. And Jonathan Jones picks up the fumble and takes it back to the one. We're going to get a replay before this ends. This game gets out of hand. We don't show all the highlights.
This is why I don't want, hard hitting in general to go away in football. Plays like this where you can use the impact of the hit to jar the ball loose. You can really change the momentum of a game and rile up a team. Was that Peppers who made that hit?
It was Jabril. Yeah, Jabril Peppers.
That's what I'm saying. We've got these safeties who can hit. We've got Duggar. We've got Peppers. We've got Phillips. Even Mapu. Hybrid linebackers, safeties who can cover and hit. It's a scary world out there.
Yeah, and we're just not utilizing it. It is a scary world. We got to bring back the boogeymen. Remember when they were the boogeymen defense? That was terrifying. That game, the Bills would lose 42-3. All right, it was a long day.
That would be quite wonderful.
Oh man, I haven't seen a score like that in quite a long time. So after that, Soor, we're on a little bit of a road trip right now. It was a long 3 weeks. Second stop on this road trip, we head out to it's San Francisco. We're going and playing the 49ers. Okay.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one, and especially a 49ers team that actually figured out have a defined quarterback of the future. I'll just let you guess who it is. I'm not going to spoil the surprise for anyone. So I'll just get right into it. Because he's going to throw a deep ball here. It's knocked away and then picked off by Charvarius Ward. Doesn't it feel like every game he's picking off somebody?
It really does. Yeah.
So I'm gonna. There is a replay here. I know we get a replay. Do you notice who number 4 is? I'll move.
Is that Brock?
Nope.
No, hold on. Number 4. Oh, was that Dak?
Nope.
Give me a hint.
$230 million man.
Ooh.
Cleveland.
Oh, Deshaun.
Deshaun Watson on the San Francisco 49ers. So they're not going away from him. They're paying him that contract.
Oh,
and they're paying him to make plays like this. It was a good ball. It was a good throw, knocked out of the hands, and then picked up. I mean, you can't have loose balls like that in Jarius Ward's vicinity. But here's the thing, though, Soor. He got us back. We did not convert on the interception, so we're going to have Deshaun handed to, missed tackle there, but they score, and Miles Sanders. It's Miles Sanders? I thought it was Saquon. Okay, whatever.
That's
Miles Sanders just bulldozed over our defense. I don't know what happened there. We got scared, apparently. It's Miles Sanders, for God's sakes. They may have thought he was Saquon Barkley.
Miles Sanders is a good back. Underrated reason why the Eagles did so well last year.
He was He's gonna have a good year in Carolina. I think so. But don't worry, Soor, because when we get knocked down, we get right up, because Mingo, 30, that's our return specialist. He's just gonna go around everyone else, and he's going to take it to the house for the touchdown. Ties this one up at 7. Jonathan Mingo. I don't know where the I is. I guess there's no I in team for him. And then we have Deshaun.
One of those players that felt like he got away in the draft for me. Mingo. I mean, I can't remember exactly where he went, and I like Keon White a lot, but he was one of those guys where it just felt like you can't leave that guy on the board. The Patriots did. They're more than covered on the return man, though. So there's no worries there. They got Marcus Jones. He's going to do his thing. And the Celtics are up 12.
Everything's coming up. New England, baby. They're going to come up New England here, too, as Micah Parsons just absolutely annihilates Deshaun Watson. Just nowhere to run on Parsons. Unbelievable defense. That's why we have him. And then Matt gets his chance here. Throws a nice little route to Hunter Renfrow, our favorite little slotty wide receiver, and he struts his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Gives us the 14-7 lead. This one's a little big. This is a big game, so this was a nice back and forth as Watson just fires down the middle. And who does he find there for the touchdown? Well, it's another Eagle, A.J. Brown.
Where's the safety help there?
Let's go back to that, because that is a good little analysis. So, the safety goes right, and they just blew that coverage completely. That can't be happening on Earth 616.
And it's not something that's, I think, going to happen in a Belichick-led defense. I think Belichick's, he's got a gifted group of safeties, and I think he's going to do something with it.
Yeah, hopefully they can cover a deep pass better. Yeah, he's all the way over there, misplayed it. A.J. Brown's going to score, yada, 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 tied up at 14. And then
the Niners with A.J. Brown.
Adrian Phillips saves the day.
We're a big season for him, aren't we, in the NOnSense Sports Network. I
really think Adrian Phillips might have a breakout year this year. Here, at least. He's having a great year in the NSN, but not on. I think he'll have a good one here. So he scores. Let me play this. And then that'll put us up 21-14. I'm telling you, this is an unbelievable game. It's Deshaun just stuffed again. And this time he was stuffed by, where is he? Keon White, baby, our newest rookie.
There we go.
Great minds think alike. I knew he was going to be a stud.
White is powerful, man. It's one of those guys where it's just you get contact on him, and all of a sudden you just feel his motor running against you, and you're just like, I just can't stay on him. He's gonna pass me. He's gonna bulldoze me. I feel like I'm giving him the early nickname, the Bulldozer. I want him to live up to it.
All right. Okay, the Dozer. I like that. We're up 21-14 still. Deshaun Watson's got the ball for the Niners. And he throws this. It looks like it's going to be picked, but it's not. Kyle Duggar misses it. Alec Pierce comes down with it, and this game's tied at 21.
We've got some opportunistic cover corners. Kind of a risk of having a guy like Jack Jones where he predicts routes really well, but if he ever misses, he may get passed. That's why the safeties are so – if you're going to have the approach of playing your opportunistic corners, and I like it because you get pass breakups, you get interceptions, you also need to have that safety help to be ready for exactly what just happened there.
All right. And so it's the fourth quarter, got a field goal, and we're kicking off here. We have Bucker.
Oh, my God.
And then look at this.
That would be so great.
But it's even better. Force a fumble on the kick return. Knocks it out of the hands. Another hard hit. Take another look. I know there's a replay here. Shrugs off one tackle, but then boom! Knocks it out. I think that's the tight end, honestly. Allen or 99. Whoever 99 is just bodied that returner and knocking it out. So, Soor, you think we're going to score here? Like, how we feeling with 24-21, turnover on the kickoff, and where we got the ball at like the 15?
This is exactly the kind of situation that the 2022 Patriots would somehow manage to mess up.
Well, the NSN Militia found a way to mess it up as well, and they only tacked on 3 points. So Nick Folk, Harrison Bucker, it doesn't matter what your name is, you're trotting yourself out on fourth down.
What did I say last year? Oh, sorry. What did I say last week about scoring 3?
Basically nothing.
You're losing 4. It's minus 4 points.
4 there, yeah.
Negative 4 points. You're scoring on that field goal. You got to be scoring 7 there, and this plagued the Patriots many, many times last year.
And you're gonna see it plague us because they're back on the 1. Okay, they're back on the 1. We did not finish the job. And all right, look at a lot of space. He could run, but he throws it away. He got a little nervous. That's fine. So then we have 4th and goal, Soor. Minute 15 left. This is where the Patriots defense is so good at getting that stop, forcing a turnover on downs. Unfortunately, yep, there it is, right up the gut. Deshaun Watson just ruining.
Deshaun's actually more athletic than you think. And the tough thing about that the Patriots defense is facing now is that it's not only like the canonically running quarterbacks they have to worry about. It's these guys that you kind of label as pocket passes, but you realize they've actually still got decent legs. Like the average legs of the baseline quarterback have improved. Mm-hmm. And anybody's a threat to run it in at any point if they have the space.
They really can, and he capitalized on that. Stark's pissed. I don't blame him. I mean, he's yelling at the DC like, what are we doing? They got the touchdown. I mean, look at all this time. He has the time, and then he just says, fuck it. I'm running it myself.
Right.
Thanks for the aerial view. Yeah, we really need that. All right. So we did get it back. Not a lot of time left, all right? But the Patriots still have some fight left in them. Excuse me, the Militia. This is my Militia. So Matt gets it, hike, yeah, all that. And we do a little check down. QB's running back screen to Kareem Hunt.
Got to get out of bounds there.
We got to get out of bounds. We had timeout, so it was okay. So take a timeout there. Matt gets it, looking, throws on the run to who else but Jamar Chase, who I don't know where D-Hop's been. I don't know where he's been in these games.
Maybe
I'm very
injured?
confused. I think he was injured 1 week, but yeah, not really. Oh, okay. All right, Soor. This crept on me fast. So that Jamar Chase catch, that was crucial. That got us into field goal range. I want you to blind bet right now. Blind gut. What's our gut saying? Is this going through?
I don't think this one's going through. In real life, Harrison Bucker nails that.
And I think you're right because it's not real life. This is nonsense. And Harrison Bucker, wide left.
Is Chad Ryland going to make that kick?
Wide left.
Look, as much as the homer in me wants to say that Nick Folk's going to be our kicker this year, we drafted in the 4th round for a reason. You think Chad Ryland's going to make that kick?
Maybe in not this. Yeah. I'm gonna go yes. I'm being positive. I'm locking down. Yes.
What worries me about Ryland is that he was 3. He has the leg, but he was 3 for 6 from 50 yards. His problem isn't the distance. His problem is that his accuracy, which is normally phenomenal, wavers a little bit around, beyond that 50-yard range. I don't really know how people work with kickers. I know we now have a good special teams coach in Joe Judge, and I'm not going to dignify anybody who thinks that him calling a over 4-hour meeting is a reason to not call him a good special teams coach.
Wouldn't that be better?
He's way better than Cameron Acord. He's not a good offensive coordinator, and that's why we put him in the one role in his career that he's really thrived in, special teams coach for the New England Patriots. He's done this role before. He's done this role well before.
I think he's won a Super Bowl in this role. So
yeah.
I think we're okay there.
He's worked with Gosto. I mean,
yeah. So we cap up the road trip with a nice little sunny trip to Duval. After that loss,
Jacksonville
needed a win to go home happy. Fun fact, Trevor Lawrence is the quarterback of this Jags team, so a little similarities there between there and here. Let's just hop right into it because this was a good game. It's a fun game, fun crowd. Jacksonville's awesome. I had a lot of fun with those peeps. Nice box, hang out with the cons. It was great. So let's just see
Mac Jones v. Trevor Lawrence is the matchup we almost got in the 2020 National Championship game, but Justin Fields beat Lawrence out and deprived us of that. They did match up in their rookie years where Mac Jones put a 50-piece on them, but different Pats team, different Jags team.
Oh, that's bad. All right, so Mac Jones, red zone again, Hunter Renfrow touchdown. I mean,
simple, short, sweet. Max MO.
And I mean, look how cocky he's getting. Going up, trying to hang the crowd. They just say nah. Getting him out of there. He doesn't care. He's just happy he scored. Just throw a nice drag route. Stark's loving it.
You think a character like Renfrow could survive the Patriot way?
Yes. I really believe that Hunter Renfrow would be the ideal replacement for another Jules.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think he'd be tremendous, honestly.
Trevor Lawrence steps on the field for the first time. He's rolling out, being chased. And it's picked off by Jonathan Jones. And he's just going to run this back. A little hurdle there before being tackled at the 1. Huge.
Jones was basically CB1 last year, and for good reason. That guy got after it.
So we're 14-0. They punched it in there. Trevor down. Sacked by who else?
Of course.
Mike Parsons, of course. Get the ball back. Jones got it. Looking. Firing to who else? That's D-Hop. There he is. He's back. D-Hop is back. Celebrating touchdowns, how it should.
When you have bona fide receivers who can catch 50-50 balls, you're more willing to go for 50-50 balls. Mac Jones isn't going to get that increase in aggression that we want from him until he can trust his offense to deliver on his aggressive plays.
And then here we go. Here as we see Trevor just sacked again. I mean, this was incredible. Micah Parsons had himself a game. 2 sacks before the half. That's where we ended. And
Not that I see him as the same type of player or in the same league, but Josh Uche can have that kind of role. That linebacker / pass rushing threat that becomes just surprisingly annoying for offenses.
Josh Uche worked on his speed. That was the one improvement I saw from training camp when I went. Was Uche was a lot faster, and it showed last season that he just felt quicker, more explosive. He just had it. You know what I mean? So it's nice to see that. And then one more Soor to wrap off this episode and a little trip into the NSN. We play the J-E.
What was the final score of the Jags game?
Don't ask, okay? Just don't. That was not a good. I just checked the box score. I thought we won that.
Did we blow the 21-0 lead?
I'm not talking about my team in a negative light. But yeah, it was 25-21.
So this is why we only watched the first half.
This is why we only watch because yeah, I don't remember losing. I thought that was a game we just hit home, nailed, up 21-0. See you later. But don't worry. We got the JETS Jets at home. Okay, this is a good one. At home. Week 14. So we're at week 14. Let's watch it. And guess what? It's snowing. It's snowing. Of course it is. That's a sack, by the way, for anyone who missed that. I'm gonna replay it. Actually,
again.
I'm gonna watch it again. And you saw 11. Who else?
No.
Who else? Just who else? Look how he just gets to quarterback.
Off the line speed, and he may look lean, but that guy's got a lot of muscle.
Notice who that quarterback is?
Is that Russ?
Jets Nation, let's ride.
Oh my god.
Let's fly. That was
let's fly. Love that.
Oh man, and yeah, he's just oh my god, I love it. Didn't get the safety. That looks like it could have been a safety.
Yeah, it looks just on the edge.
Right on the edge a little bit. Oh, I'll watch these. I'll watch different angles of this. I love watching a Micah Parsons sack. I mean, Brandon Stark too. My guy, cooking it up, and then Russ again throws it to Travis Etienne. I'm 90% positive. Yes, it's Travis Etienne for the score.
He's a Jag right now, right?
It was a Jet.
No. In real.
Oh yeah, he's a no. I'm sorry, I got confused. James Robinson got traded to the Jets.
Right.
Etienne is a Jet. Correct.
Another example of a quarterback weapon pairing. Etienne was one of Trevor Lawrence's favorite guys to hand off to and throw to in college, and the Jags got them on the same team.
And look how well he's doing. I think Etienne is going to have a stud year, and that Jags offense looks completely different. It's awesome.
Right.
Now he's on the Jets. He's cooking with Russ. 7-3. It's not a big deal to us, all right? You can celebrate all you want because Mac Jones is going to come back. He's got this ready. I've got all the confidence. Drops back, waiting, and then fires it.
And it's a snow game. We're not losing a snow game.
You don't lose snow games in New England, especially to the JETS Jets. Jamar Chase, hopefully that could. I got a question I'm pointing out right now. Jamar Chase has caught a lot of passes, a lot of touchdowns today in the for the NSN. Who do we think is the Jamar Chase of here this year? Kendrick Bourne, and I'm going by touchdowns. I should have led with that. Touchdowns. Who do you think will have more touchdowns? Devontae Parker or Kendrick Bourne? You think about that. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this for the peeps. And we got a kickoff again. All right. The start right around, we're right about to wrap up halftime. And then, bam! Another fumble on the kickoff. Maybe this is why they made a rule change in the NFL. Is the amount of fumbles, hard hits. I'm seeing it. So that is picked up. I don't know who that is. That's just a random player on the roster. And do we have one more? Do we have another clip of this? Oh, we do. All right. So Russ is going to try to come back. Minute 36, maybe a little late. So Russ throws, fires, and then, oh my Lord, a little toe tapping. Soor is back. All right, good. All right, Soor's back. Hey, man, you just missed Oscar Pitts, my dude. Let's go. Look at that toe tap, little reaching. Toe drag swag for Pitts.
Beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. And that's the last. We actually won this game 17-7. So that's a good way to end the night. Pitts
some Pats Jets games just end up being ugly. I think there's going to be at least one of those this year. Both of last year's Pats Jets games were that way.
Yeah, they're just
it's
ugly
just cool.
games. It just has to be. It's the rivalry. It's there. So Soor, we have 4 games left before we go to the playoffs. Okay. And will we even get there? Spoiler alert, yes, we do. We win out, okay? Because that's what the Patriots fucking do. We win out.
It looks like based on what I'm seeing from this team that they will make the playoffs, and it would be nice if the current version of the Pats had that kind of security.
It would be nice, Soor. And I got plans for the playoffs that will be announced next week. That's how we get you and hook you in. So come back and tune in next week to find out why the hell am I showing these clips and what the hell is going on in the NOnSense Galaxy. And I'd like to thank you all for tuning into this edition of the Gillette Gazette presented by StadiumRant. Make sure you're checking out all things StadiumRant by checking out our website, StadiumRant.com, with all articles, not only just the Patriots and NFL, but we got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and we got baseball cooking up as well. And then follow us on social media at StadiumRantHQ. Follow us individually at Pat_Pitts and at Soravora. Go like us on Facebook, Stadium Rant, and then YouTube. Go check out our YouTube channel, which hopefully you're watching now. Stadium Rant, hit that subscribe button. And maybe a nice comment on the video and tell us what your favorite play or moment from those games were. And if you have a little opinion on who should be added into the NOnSense Galaxy and that Militia team, who do you think would be a great fit for that Militia team? Let us know in the comments or just hit us up, DM, tweet at us, whatever. You have our info now. So am I missing anything before we wrap things up here in the Yard of Streams? I guess not. Soor has frozen, which means it's time for me to eat my frozen pizza. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. Remember that you can do it. All I got to do is try. We will see you next episode.